Hi, welcome to week 2 of our course. I hope that the first week provided you some insight into just overall things that we should be considering when we're discussing students with special needs. I feel like we all have special needs, if you want me to be honest, but we will focus on the particular special needs that different students have that we will be challenged with in our inclusive settings. In the weeks coming. But for this week, we will be looking at an overview of strategies for differentiated instruction for students with special needs, like in a general sense. So I tried to focus it in on 3 different aspects, and we'll get to that when we get to lecture 2 that reviews the reading. So for this unit, differentiated instruction is an approach to teaching that allows educators to purposefully design content, activities, and social interactions focused in the needs of all learners, which we all know. Strategies for differentiated instruction for students with special needs requires an understanding of personal, environmental barriers that often impact learning conditions. This unit explores approaches to differentiating for students with special needs within inclusive settings in a general sense, but also specifically by looking at not just their outcome, but also the process and the product that the how, the what you want them to achieve. Where's where the how comes in. Unit objectives are, hopefully by the end you will know the learning characteristics of students with disabilities. I don't think there are any one learning or one category of characteristics for you to remember, but just having a frame of overall things that are going on. So this week there are a lot of scenarios. One of the scenarios that are represented in the or discussed written in one of the articles we will actually review. And it will be our assignment for the week. Designing, hopefully by the end you'll be able to start designing instructional practices that are inclusive for diverse learners, which some of you are already doing in a great way, but this is a little bit more specific to focusing really intentionally on the process and the product and how you're addressing the needs of your specifically students with special needs, and then adjusting the pacing of instruction to activities and instruction that provide differentiated approaches to learning. The pacing is a hard one, I think, overall, especially when you think about the delivery of the content. So hopefully we'll start to address some of that with the process to ensure all students are learning at their best ability. By the end, hopefully you will be able to apply the following skills: how to meet students' emotional and social needs in the classroom, approaches to facilitating classroom learning communities in a wealth of difference viewpoint, and then employ flexible grouping strategies that contribute to a community of learning. Some of these you've already done. The articles that discuss them, in addition to the resources with the last page of lecture 2, which is a strategies page, just give you further insight into a lot of these things you already know. However, the spin is for you to refocus it on your special needs population. So that would mean people who have IEP or 504s, and also those who have not been formally diagnosed with a disability who still require assistance. Because as we all know, differentiation benefits everyone. The 2 readings for this week, I did a little bit change for the second one. The first one is still the same, Differentiated Instruction for Disabled Students in Inclusive Classrooms by Alicia Broderick and the other authors. And then the second reading, Differentiated Instruction and Inclusive Strategies for Standards-Based Learning that Benefit the Whole Class, is the new one that I added. By the end of this week, I only focused in on 2 outcomes. The learning characteristic of a student with disabilities, and then the last one, which is designing instructional practices that are inclusive for diverse learners. So this is for scenario 1. You'll actually get to see one of the scenarios which is mentioned in reading 1 with a student who has a learning disability, and then how he is disciplined and responded to during an activity. Your job will be to restructure the beginning of the process, because I think sometimes with regards to students who have learning disabilities or emotional or physical disabilities that they're challenged with, the challenges that they face within the classroom start with the process. So I want you to really think about the way in which this activity should have been delivered, and then next time when we have a scenario, we'll think about the product and the process, product, and then maybe some more instructional approaches for the during the middle part of the activity. The first part is just a quiz on what we read, and then the class discussion number 2. And I'll ask you during this discussion to start specifically thinking about your students in your classroom and who they are. And I will participate in that discussion by posting a response first. Okay, well, I hope you have a fantastic week, and if you have any questions, please let me know. This is just the overview. I'm looking forward to reading your responses and engaging in discourse with you this week. Have a great day.